Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning somewhere. Good evening somewhere. Good afternoon. Welcome. It's Wednesday. I hope everyone is doing well. Happy St. Patrick's. Really. We just had our daylight savings this past Sunday. So I hope everyone's sleep is kind of back to normal or at least normalized. Or at least their schedules to where they're able to handle and not getting tired from being affected by the 1 hour change. So that's why we're going to talk about that today. Are you an early bird? Are you a night owl? Because with the daylight savings, we lost an hour. But really, I thought that I was going to get an hour, but I lost an hour and it affected me a lot on Sunday. So I want to know how it affected all of you. And so today we're going to talk about everything sleep. All right, so basically we're going to look at how or what's the relationship between sleep and diabetes. Um, because did you know that 40% of people are or daily struggle with daytime drowsiness? So it's really, if it's ever affected you, you're not alone. So we'll talk about the relationship between sleep and diabetes and what a good sleep looks like. And then also the benefits of a good sleep, why someone even has poor sleep, and then what to do to get a better sleep. All right, so we'll dive right in. What is the relationship between sleep and diabetes? And so we know that sleeping disturbance comes in terms of when someone has difficulty going to falling asleep or staying asleep or just sleeping too much. And so when these things linger, you'll find that they'll go to the doctor and they will get a prescription because the doctor doesn't really ask what else is going on. So you always get a prescription for a sleep aid, or they'll probably get something over the counter to help them go to sleep or stay asleep. And we know that sleep deprivation or not sleeping enough causes you or gives you a high risk of having diabetes. So increases your risk for diabetes. When someone already has diabetes, they're really facing a challenging circle of where they're compensating lack of sleep with eating lots of carbs to try to get energy to get them through the day. And you know what that does is it increases the blood sugar. It makes it harder to go to sleep because now you have to get up so often to use the bathroom at night. And so it's harder to achieve a decent sleep. And so we also know that lack of sleep also increases your risk of getting or being overweight or obesity. And if you're obese, you're also at an increased risk of being diabetic. So it's all a challenging circle that happens there. And so does anybody know what good sleep looks like? Because we know that when challenging times happen through the day or through our life, sleep is the first thing that gets out the window, and yet it shouldn't be. So you might have guessed here that there is no magic rule. There's no hard and fast rule about how much sleep to get. But the best we understand is that we should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. With some outliers, some people will say, I feel completely rested at 6 hours, or I feel completely rested at 9 hours. So those are some outliers there. And so but still you want to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, because if you sleep enough, you're able to lose weight that you've been holding on to. You're able to have a clear skin. Isn't that everybody's dream? You're able to reduce your risk of diabetes for sure. You're able to improve our memories. It also strengthens our immune system, and for all mothers out there, is this one. Improves your patience. I know that's one for me too. So then how do you end up having poor sleep? What are the causes of poor sleep? For one, it's the blood sugar roller coaster. So basically, if your blood sugar is not well controlled, so you have really high blood sugar, and that causes you to have frequent urination, you get thirsty, you're not able to have a good night's sleep. And then if it's too low, then you're struggling with hypoglycemia. And what happens in that case is that you have the shakes, you get sweaty, and sometimes palpitations, and that can also affect your sleep. You're not able to sleep well. And then another reason that your sleep will be affected is sleep apnea. So sleep apnea is where breathing repeatedly stops and starts through the night. That doesn't sound good at all. And so basically you'll find that you're not resting well. And then someone with restless leg syndrome, this is common with people with diabetes. When you have restless leg syndrome, you have constant urge to move your legs, especially in the evenings. And this could be due to increased blood sugar. It could be due to increased kidney problems, iron deficiency, thyroid problems, or just smoking. So you probably need to get those checked. So what do you do then for better sleep? There are several tips here that I have for you for better sleep. First of all, you want to hydrate. All right, so basically time your water intake through the day so that you're not drinking a lot of water at the end of the day. So you don't want to drink 4 to 8 ounces of water right before you go to bed, because then that affects your sleep. But hydrating helps you keep your blood sugars within normal range. And then basking in the morning light. The morning light regulates your melatonin so that you're able to sleep in the evening. Moving your body, especially in the morning, and that sets your internal clock so that in the evening, again, you're able to go to sleep. But just be sure not to do any aerobics at least 3 hours before you go to sleep. And then catching a nap, that's something you probably want to consider this week. Because catching a nap, at least a 20-minute power nap, what that does is it gives you energy to get through the day, and that way you don't have to snack aimlessly. And then keeping an eye on the caffeine intake. We rarely do this, but very important, because when you ingest caffeine, it reduces the amount of deep sleep that we get. And so 5 or 6 hours after drinking caffeine, half of it is still in your system. It has not been cleared out. And so you can imagine why it would affect your sleep. And so probably reduce the amount of caffeine intake or don't take any by 2 in the afternoon. And then going easy on the alcohol. I know it's St. Patrick's, but although alcohol helps us unwind in the evenings, at least that's what some people say, it's not a sleep aid. And so what it leads to is sleep fragmentation, where you end up waking up multiple times through the night. That does not give you restful sleep. And so you want to avoid alcohol within 4 hours of bedtime. And then also just investing in a good bed or beddings, because we spend a third of our lifetime sleeping. So why not? And then another thing to do is don't talk about finances at night. I don't think that requires an explanation. And then checking your medication. This is the last one I'm going to bring up here, because some medications may have stimulating effects and contribute to sleeping problems. So definitely do not stop taking your medication. However, talk to your doctor or your pharmacist to make sure that your medications are not the reason why you're not able to sleep. All right, so that's all I have for you guys this week. I want to hear which one resonated with you in terms of which one you're going to try. And if this information came to you and it's helpful to you and you know someone who would benefit, just invite them to our group here And if you have any questions, definitely post them below or send me a DM. Until next week, happy St. Patrick's and have a good rest of the week. All right, guys. Bye.